Mike, elite 2027 wide receiver, also a legacy, Julius Jones Jr. visiting for Texas A&M this weekend. What are the details on that?
Yeah, this is a pretty big one that Blue and Gold and rival Sam Spiegelman were able to report on Monday morning that, yeah, Julius Jones, number 66 overall player, number 14 wide receiver. He's in the 2027 class, and this is per the Rivals Industry ranking. You see all of the rankings there on the screen. Goes to St. Thomas Aquinas in Fort Lauderdale. It's not the most, I think the last time Notre Dame signed a guy out of there is, close to a decade ago. But like a profile school for Notre Dame in South Florida. And believe it or not, this is Julius Jones' first time visiting campus. His father is, of course, Julius Jones Sr., who was a star running back for Notre Dame in the early 2000s and had a really, really nice career in the NFL, starring for the Cowboys. And yeah, I actually talked to Senior on the phone yesterday, and he was super pumped up about this trip. And Julius' younger brother is the class of 2028 cornerback, who I think that Notre Dame will probably offer next pot of gold day, if not sooner. Like he's a really big prospect as well. So yeah, Mason, this is a big one. I was actually planning to write an article later this week. I call it Fake Questions, Real Answers. It's like there's questions I want to answer, but no one's asking me them. That's kind of the premise.
Yeah.
And one of them was going to be who is visiting this week or who is not visiting this weekend that you really wish was. And it was going to be Julius Jones, believe it or not. I was I was going to be really disappointed if he didn't visit, but also note that, excuse me, guys, this is my Jordan flu game. I am seriously under the weather today. But while noting he's going to visit for the USC game, if he's not visiting for A&M, I fully anticipated him visiting for on the USC game. He had told me over the summer that he's going to visit for one of those big night games. So Julius Jones visiting Notre Dame on Saturday. Highly competitive recruitment, Mason, Florida, Miami, LSU, Oregon, Penn State, Florida State. Of course, Notre Dame offered him back in March. So again, I can't emphasize enough how big this recruitment is for Notre Dame. Sources on the Irish side are feeling really good about where things stand early on, but it's hard to feel too confident or too pessimistic until the visit happens. So we'll see how it goes this weekend. But Mason, I mean, we've both been in Notre Dame Stadium, some of those night games. It's a raucous environment. So I think if Notre Dame wins against A&M, that's even going to put the Irish in a better spot for them.
Yeah, for sure. People talk about the Notre Dame environment. Sometimes during day games, it can be sleepy. It is not during night games. That is a wild
Get the
atmosphere.
light show going, bro. Yeah,
Yeah.
100%.
And Notre Dame's best weapon recruiting is getting guys on campus, especially for night games. So I'm pretty pumped up about this visitor list that's coming through. It should be public here in the next couple of days. And Mike, speaking of visitors, is there anybody on commit watch? Like we said, Notre Dame's best weapon. Is anybody going to pop?
Yeah, I got 6 names, and I'm not sure.
Six pack.
It's 6 pack. So there's no one that I'm I think this guy pops this weekend. There's no one I'm all right, he's gonna commit, or this is one I'm really watching out for. But if there were 6 where I think that these guys are leaning Notre Dame, and this visit could push them over the edge, this is that group. Jace Brewer is one of them. He's from Franklin Central in Indianapolis, a 4-star, 6'5", 225-pound defensive end. Kyle Kelly at Blue and Gold covers. Sorry, I didn't pop up on the screen. There he is. Kyle Kelly covers Jace a little bit more closely than I do. But still, just my conversation with Notre Dame sources and what I understand about Brewer's recruitment, Notre Dame is in a pretty good spot for him. And he has Indiana, Purdue, Illinois, Tennessee, Florida, Michigan, Miami, Penn State, and several others on his list. So a highly competitive recruitment, a big-time prospect, a good-looking prospect, and one that I think right now the Notre Dame's got the edge for. Jack Brown, look, Notre Dame is, I feel like, in an advanced position at tight end in defensive line in the 2027 class. You can look at some of those guys and be like, man, those are the ones you could see popping early. And Jack Brown is definitely one that I could see committing sooner than later. He's also coming for the, excuse me, guys, he's also coming for the USC game. From what he's previously told us, the number 85 overall player, number 6 tight end. Jack Brown looked fantastic at Irish Invasion back in early June. Next up, got Chicago kid Quentin Burrell. Mountain Carmel, number 49 overall player, number 8 receiver in the country. This recruitment gives me Cam Williams vibes. Like Cam grew up a Michigan fan, admittedly. Notre Dame just shoved Michigan in a locker, slammed the door for the former Wolverines fan and Cam Williams. And Burrell's recruitment seems like it could be a Notre Dame Michigan battle. And I like where the Irish are at for him. Another Irish invasion standout. You know who also was an Irish invasion standout was Cam Williams. That would have been in the summer of 2022, I believe. Richie Flanagan, I like for Notre Dame. I don't know if it's an offensive lineman or a defensive lineman or what. He's really good. On 3, likes him as an interior offensive lineman. It's actually ranked him in there, or excuse me, on 3 Rivals. The Rivals 300. So 6'3", 265 pounds, brother of James Flanagan and son of Jim Flanagan, a former Notre Dame defensive lineman. A couple more. Tyler Fryman is a Louisville baseball commit. Notre Dame likes him at receiver. He's from a town that's about 20 minutes from where Gino Guidugli, Notre Dame's quarterbacks coach, grew up. I feel like Fryman's either going to go to Louisville and play 2 sports, and maybe he comes to Notre Dame and plays 2 sports. Some things to kind of figure out there. And Mason, I feel like when there's a 2-sport kid, you always have that primary sport. Like with Drake Bowen,
Yeah.
is a football player. What's up?
Yeah, for sure. That's what it seems like anyways. And they end up kind of leaning one way or the other. Like Drake Bowen was getting in baseball games just to steal bases, it seemed like. And then clearly Max Bullough was like, hey man, you have a future in the NFL. Let's keep you playing linebacker.
Yeah, and then you have like a Jordan Faison who I feel like came in. You guys correct me in the wrong comments. I feel like he came in as a lacrosse guy. And now he's moved over to football, obviously. I mean, playing both, right? But like his scholarships is with football. And I just feel like, I mean, I guess he's not the greatest example. He's pretty much 50-50. That guy does both for sure. So you have a true 50-50. Like Jaden Thomas, the receiver, a few years ago, like he was like, oh, I'm going to come in and play both. He didn't even ever touch the baseball diamond. So it can kind of be on a case-by-case basis. I think like Matt Jeffrey, the walk-on receiver, plays both, but he's more of a lacrosse guy. So again, it's case-by-case.
There's more fun ones from a while back.
Yeah.
Jeff Samardzija, Golden Tate, Torrey Hunter.
There you go. Baseball guys. Yep. Baseball guys. Yep.
Yeah, it seemed to be a lot more common in the early 2000s, but it seems to be straying away from it. But I'm all for it. Notre Dame baseball needs the talent bad.
Yeah, you're talking about Drake Bowen stealing bases. I don't think Braden Parks, 6'3", 300 pounds, will be stealing bases. But, man, I love this prospect. Another Irish invasion standout, godson of Chris Zorich, which can only help. So Notre Dame getting all of these guys we talked about on campus this weekend. You had Brewer, the DN, Brown, the tight end. Notre Dame also likes him at DN. Burrell, the wide receiver. Flanagan could play either way. Fryman, a wide receiver, and then Braden Parks, a beefy interior defensive lineman.